Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo, and welcome to the end of week 58. Welcome back, I should say. We're sort of doubling up today because I released the first video for Series 2, and then that's going to be going at the beginning of every week, so I should start with a notice. These videos are going to be moving slightly. Probably to Saturdays instead of Sundays, because otherwise it's just going to be right in the middle of the week. Plus, it's like no one cares, so we can throw it at the end of the week and it'll be fine. But it might also move to middle of the week, so Wednesdays. That way, I have a Sunday video, I have a Wednesday video. I'm gonna go that way. I should have done it this week. Actually, I should have actually said I was going to be doing this before Series 2 started, which would have been the smart thing to do, but I didn't think of it until afterwards. And so then I'm just sort of, okay, well, I could do it next week. It's fine. No, that's not a round number or anything. So I could do it right at week 60. I'm like, well, technically week 60 is sort of at the end of a batch of 10. I don't really want to do that. It'll be the end of 8 weeks. So I think it's a good time to do it. So anyway, the numbers have to match up, all that stuff. Anyway, that's in the next few weeks. So probably like week 61 will be the very first one that is on that Wednesday. So it might be a quick double up, like Saturday and then Sunday and then Wednesday and then Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday. Anyway, a couple things this week. Number one, did my weigh-in and I'm up. But it's not the same as a legitimate weight gain. And so I'm not too worried about it. My sleeves keep falling over, or sliding down. Anyway. I had gone out last night and went way overboard on stuff, and I knew, like, when I woke up this morning, I was still full. So I knew that it was a matter of, all right, I know this stuff is still sloshing around in there, and it's going to be fine. Plus, I had taken a little sneak peek at my weight a couple of days ago, and I was at 221 something. So I know that it's going to even out. It's just very bad timing when I did my weigh-in. I got to do my weigh-in at the same time. I didn't do my treadmill this morning before I did my weigh-in because I don't want to do that anymore. So I know that it's going to go back down, and chances are if I weigh myself tomorrow morning, it'll be down, and that would probably be more accurate. But I had gone overboard, which actually happened a couple times this week. Earlier on in the week, I bought this paste for Hyderabad paste or something, whatever it is. It's an East Indian paste thing. And I've had it for a little bit, had it for a couple of weeks, and I haven't actually tried it because it's calling for yogurt. So I went out, I bought yogurt. And of course, I just want plain yogurt. It doesn't really matter. But I found goat yogurt, which I thought, I've never had goat yogurt, I don't think, so I'm going to try it. Tastes just like yogurt. There's no difference whatsoever. Anyway, so I prepared all the stuff and made everything the way that it was supposed to be made. And I thought, okay, well, I'm making it with chicken and vegetables. It should be fine. And the paste isn't really that high in calories. And then I added all my stuff up, and I was over for the day. By the time I was done, was over by like 200 calories or something. And then the next day, I had sort of like the leftovers and the other spicy things and stuff like that. And I thought, well, no, I'm going to be a little bit better this time around. Nope, went over by 30, I want to say 37, but it's somewhere less than 40 calories for the day. So I went, shit, so it's over 2 days this week. But that's okay. All of that stuff is okay because I accomplished something this week, which I never thought I was going to be able to do, that I'm very, very proud of, and that's what I want to get to. Not to sort of poo-poo all the bad things I did this week. It's been a very bad week. Went over twice. Although there were cookies and cakes and all sorts of things going on at work, just non-stop, and I was good. In fact, the same day I did my accomplishment thing, which I'll get to in a second, I went out with a friend of mine, and we were just driving around, went for coffees, and ended up going to a fast food place, which I probably can't say, but we'll say it rhymes with Schwendies. Anyway, which is by far, if I had to pick one spot that I prefer over all other fast food places, that's going to be it. And because I had been busy throughout the entire day, I actually had only had a little bit of stuff, I think just like an apple for breakfast or something. It was like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. So I'm really, really hungry at this point. I know where this is going. Don't worry. Stay with me. So we go in, and it smells great. I haven't been in there in a very, very long time. And so he got what he was getting, and I thought, I know I can afford it. I can afford the calories. I could afford to, indulge a little bit for this one time, even though I've sort of already had done that during the week when I had gone over. But I thought, you know what? No, I'm not going to do it. Because throughout the day, I had been thinking, I want to try something when I go home. And this was the accomplishment thing. I wanted to try that, and I didn't want to sort of offset it by having fast food on the day that I want to try this. So anyway, I didn't order anything. I sat there, had a conversation with him, watched him eat it's like a chicken bacon thing, like all greasy and stuff. It did look good. It smelled great in there and everything else, but I was, I'm okay. Much better at saying no to stuff now. Much more willpower than I ever did before. Anyway, we part ways, say goodbye, salute, and all the other good stuff, or whatever we do. And so then I came home, and I thought, okay, I'm going to try this. I wanted to do this. And so what I did, I had already done my treadmill for the day. So I got back on the treadmill, walked for about 10 minutes, maybe 12, just enough to get to 1 kilometer. I wanted it to hit that 1 kilometer mark. Then I started jogging. And normally what I do on the treadmill is I'll do 15 minutes of walking and then 15 minutes of jogging, or 10 minutes of, it's usually 10 minutes of walking first and then 15 of jogging, or then another 15 of walking and 15 of jogging, and that way it's at 55 minutes or whatever. And then I just walk to sort of cool down for the last part of it. And for a while I had gotten up to like 20 minutes or something like that, and I hadn't ever really gone past that. And I really wanted to see if I could, not really if I wanted to see if I could do something, because I figured, if I push myself hard enough, I know that I can go the full 5 kilometers, which is what I wanted to do. So I started the treadmill up and started walking. And after I had hit that 1 kilometer mark, I started jogging at the regular speed I normally do when I'm doing my treadmill, and didn't stop. I did the full 5K jogging nonstop, not slowing down, not taking a break, not doing, I'm just going to walk for 5 minutes and then pick up again. I set it at 9 kilometers an hour, which isn't super, super fast, but fast enough for me. When it hit that 1 kilometer mark, I started at 9 kilometers an hour, and I kept going until it read 6 kilometers. Well, actually, I think I walked for half a kilometer, and then I started, so it was 5.5 kilometers by the time it was done. Because I wanted to see if it's weird, because I didn't want to say, I wonder if I can do this. Because I was pretty sure that no matter how tired I got, as long as I wasn't just being a lazy shit, I could push myself and I could get through it. Because if I'm jogging for 15 minutes, I've said this before, if I'm jogging for 15, jogging for 20 or 25 is not going to be that big of a deal, because once you're out of breath, you hit that point where your breathing is still stable. It's still tough to breathe, and you're really working hard at it, but it's stable. You're not getting more out of breath the longer that you go, because I'm not increasing the speed, I'm not going uphill, I'm not doing stuff like that. So anyway, I ran a 5K for the first time in my life ever, and it was something I never thought I would ever be able to do. A year ago, there's no way in hell if you were to say, I remember actually having a conversation with someone, and it's in the videos somewhere way, way, way back. So this must be 7 or 8 months ago at this point, where I was saying, I'd sort of like to try doing, starting walking. I think this was before I was actually doing my treadmill. And they had said, well, start with a 5K. They're an idiot. I think we thoroughly addressed that in the original video. And I remember thinking, a 5K is so far beyond anything I'm ever going to be able to do. I think at this point I was actually just walking up the hill to my car at work. I think that was it. I was just starting doing the hill. And at that point, that was enough. That was my exercise for the day. I would walk to my car. And getting to a point now where I can say, I can run a 5K. I know that I can. Not that I have confidence that I can do it. Not, if I push myself, I really can. But I have proof. I have the memory of running a 5K, which makes me feel so good. And I felt good at the time. I felt tired, don't get me wrong. I was really, really tired out. But I probably could have kept on going, because again, once you hit that, 10 or 15 minute mark, you're not getting more tired. You're just, it's sort of maintaining the same pace. But it was something that I really, really wanted to do. And so I feel good that I was able to accomplish that. Sort of also try to offset the 2 days that I went over. And then, of course, Saturday went way, way over again. I recorded enough to get to a point where I was over, and I was like, I'm not even sure how far over I am. And it was mainly just from like little munchy things too. So not even things. Oh well, no, it was a salad bar, but I ate so much of it. No, it was bad stuff. So, but I'm okay. I'm okay with it. Not making an excuse or saying I'm perfectly fine. I can have cheat days. I can't. Not to that point yet. But I know that because I mean I knew it was going to affect my weigh-in as well, so I was a bit prepared for that. But when I did my weigh-in, actually, it was only zero point 0.6 pounds over where I was last week, which sounds really bad. But I know that at some point during this week, I was almost 221 pounds. So I'm going to be okay. Next week's weigh-in, I'll be fine. So anyway, but the main thing is that the main thing that I sort of wanted to focus on was being able to say I can do a 5K now. And part of it was I wanted to do something just to sort of kick off Series 2 as well, that I really wanted to at least have some sort of milestone for myself that I can say, I got to this point, then I started in on this other stuff. And I was going to keep doing the treadmill throughout Series 2, and I still am. But now I'm looking at it going, because that's originally what Series 2 was going to be, was me going from 0 to 5K. And I'm like, well, I can do one now, so I don't really need to do that anymore. But I want to sort of keep that in there because now, of course, the next thing I'm looking at is I know I can do a 5K. So do I switch now? And in the mornings when I'm doing my treadmill, then do I just run a 5K? Because it actually takes less time for me to do that than it does for me to walk for an hour because I'm walking and then jogging and walking and jogging. And I mean, it's because it takes, I do that in 60-minute increments. But when I did the 5K, it was about 10 minutes of walking. And then, or however long it took me to get to half a kilometer. So I'm doing 5 kilometers an hour, so like 6 minutes. So 6 minutes, and then, if my math is right, maybe, and then just nonstop jogging. So it takes less than an hour to do it. It's still a sustained jog. Like it's 40 minutes straight of jogging, which was, I never thought I was going to be able to do. But now I'm thinking, do I do that as my regular exercise on, every morning and still keep the walking on Tuesdays and Thursdays? So that I can have a nice leisurely walk, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do a 5K. That would be weird to be able to do because at that point, then I need to start building up again because the next stage is a 10K, which sounds really, really, really far, but because that's an hour and a half of nonstop jogging. That's going to be rough. But that's a long, long way away. So I might sort of add that in there and sort of work towards that in the background as well, on top of everything else that we're doing. But yeah, it was nice to be able to have, like, for me anyway, a major accomplishment. I know some assholes can say, well, start with a 5K. Okay, you can start with a 5K. It took me over a year to get to a point where I could even do a 5K. So this is my new starting point. But I don't know if I'm going to continue. I mean, I know that I should continue on with that. And I'm going to try that for the week. I'll say that. I'll try this for this week. And just go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, do the 5K, same way that I did it, at the end of this week. I'll do the 5K, and then see if it's working out, and then gradually start increasing from there. Because if I can do just like a quick 10-minute warm-up when I'm walking, and then jog for 45 minutes, then it's a matter of me going, all right, well now I need to jog for 50, and then 55, and 60, and 65. Because eventually I will get to that point when I can do a 10K. Then what's after that? Half marathon, which is 20 kilometers roughly. And then a full marathon, jeez, that's 40 kilometers. That's a lot. Anytime I see anyone running a marathon, their legs are all wobbly. Their legs are all wobbly. Their legs are all wobbly. Their nipples are bleeding. All sorts of bad things are happening. I've seen people shit themselves when they're doing this. I haven't personally seen it, but go look at videos on YouTube. You'll see them everywhere. There are people that they get 100 feet from the finish line, like, I gotta poop. And they just go. So there's lots of bad stuff that happens to you during a marathon. So that, more than the exercise, is something that I really don't want to do that. I have a treadmill, so I could do it at home. And if it gets to a point where I go, I need to stop running or I'm going to shit myself, then I just go to my bathroom. See? There you go. I won't share that I might share that if it happens. And go, I made it. It was great. It was very close, but I made it. That's a long, 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 long way away. And I can't see myself, I say this now, but I can't see myself getting to a point where I'm just running a marathon. I'm just, I don't know. Maybe so that it's sort of that same mentality that I want to see if I can do it. then yes, maybe I'll do it. But I can't imagine it would be, 26 miles of sustained jogging. I would have to walk at some point in there just to sort of catch my breath and then start up again and do things like that. People got to start somewhere, right? But I suppose my next goal at this point would be the 10K, which, as odd as it sounds to say that, seems doable. Because I know, I can say, I've done a 5K. And not just walking 5 kilometers, because it's something for me to say I can walk for 5 kilometers, because I've always just sort of, I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed going for walks with friends and talking and stuff like that, and we would used to go and just walk for hours. So I don't mind the walking portion of it. It's the jogging, the actual, and the distance that I measured was the time I started jogging to the time I finished jogging. So I did my warm-up, then I jogged a 5K. That's a huge accomplishment for me. So I can look back now and say, yeah, I've run a 5K. Well, I've jogged a 5K. I don't know if I can. I keep saying, oh, I run this, or I do running and then walking. It's not really running, because it really is a jog. It's enough that I'm panting and sweating and gross and everything else. And to me, it's running, but in my head, I'm thinking it's only 9 kilometers an hour. That's not really all that fast. So, which is however many miles an hour. We've done the math before. You can look it up. So it's that many miles per hour. But yeah, so I think the next goal, I guess, would be a 10K for me. So that's my next step. So at least it gives me something that I can work towards while I'm on the treadmill. So this week I'm going to keep trying to do a 5K on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then Tuesday and Thursday, I'm just going to do a regular walk, see how this goes. If it gets to a point where this sounds like such a weird thing to say, like I feel like a bit of a douchebag saying this now, going, if I feel I can do a 5K every day, that's something an asshole would say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Oh, that makes me an asshole. So I'm going to try this for this 1 week. If it's something that I think, you know what, I'm not in agonizing pain the next morning every single time, maybe I'll add that in there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'd like to keep the walking on the weekend, although I haven't done it this weekend yet. So, sorry. I keep skipping days during the weekend. I don't feel quite as guilty about those as I do, if I was to skip a day during the week. But I haven't missed a day during the week since I was sick months ago. So if I get sick, then yeah, I don't really feel bad about not doing the treadmill. But every other day, I'm good, except for the weekends. So anyway, yes, this week I will do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'll do the 5K thing. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm just going to sort of keep it where it is, just do a regular walk, and let you know how things go. And then after the this week, and then the week after, and then the week after, so week 60, at the end of week 60 will be the last one that's on the weekend. And then starting on week 61, we'll jump into Wednesdays. So it'll be sort of Wednesday, Sunday. Be a little more spaced apart, and I think that'll work out a little bit better. It won't be on the day when we actually do our weigh-in, but it'll give me some progress. I can say, well, I did my weigh-in earlier this week. Here's what I weighed, and here's what I've done so far this week. I'm thinking it might keep me going a little bit. I don't know. We gotta tweak stuff the way that we can, right? So that is coming up in the next 2 or 3 weeks. We're going to continue on with Series 2 as well. So that's going to be every Sunday. We're sort of starting in earnest this coming Sunday. Hey, actually, I was going to be doing it. So that is what is in store. That's what I have planned for the future. But for right now, I'm going to leave this video here. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please vote the like button for me. And in the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video.